اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد. اللهم
Okay, Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een, bi rahmatika arhamar rahimin. So inshallah, I did the part one as well. I don't know if you guys watched it. It's on my YouTube channel. Do you guys have my YouTube channel? Yeah, so you watched the whole thing, isn't it? So we're not going to repeat ourselves, but what I'll do is, I'm going to give this, this is a dua list, so I only have one copy, but I'll give it to you guys so you can copy it and then share it with each other. So I'll summarize the entire thing, inshallah. So brothers asked me, the question was, they're going to, Jeddah first, but they're going to Medina straight away. So my understanding on the first day when he asked me that he was going to Jeddah, I thought you were doing the Umrah. No, but you don't have to wear ihram because you're going to Jeddah for the intention to go to Medina first. So you actually wear ihram when you come back from Medina. So that will be, I don't know if you're coming back on a bus or you're coming back on a train. Trains are actually much more faster and more efficient nowadays. And I think the train ticket's only 250 riyal per person, and it's half the time. So if you're coming on a bus, it will take you about 5 hours, more or less, give or take. It's like you're going to Canberra and then you're coming back to Goulburn. That's how long the distance is. So going to Canberra and then also coming back to Goulburn. And that's how far Mecca and Medina is. It's close to 450 kilometers, around that, less than 500 kilometers. So it's a long journey, but the buses are very comfortable. So inshallah, you don't have to worry about that. We spoke about the virtues of Medina as well. Now, you guys are going to Medina, inshallah. Just to make it very simple, in Medina, it's a lot of rest and also a lot of ibadah as well. For women, you can't go to the graveyard, to the cemetery, because the Saudi government does not allow women to go there. But for men, you can go there twice a day, which is Fajr, after Fajr and after Asr. That's the only two times they open it. And that's Baqi al-Gharqad. And imagine, this is another honor. I know we all don't want to die. We all feel we're very young. But imagine if you die in Medina. That's the only place you can be buried. And the Prophet said, my intercession is for the graveyard of Medina, the people in there. And also the Prophet said, a munafiq, does not survive in Medina. Medina is a place, a very beautiful place. You're going to enjoy every minute of Medina. If you have not been there, the police is very friendly. People are very friendly. You'll enjoy every minute of your time in Medina. Even if you're late for the salah as well, you can still go inside the masjid and pray over there. It's not like Mecca. If you're going to Mecca, make sure 15 minutes before adhan, you have to be inside the masjid. If you're not inside the masjid, they just send you to the rooftop. And Mecca is a dry city, not like Medina. Medina is very tropical. Like if you've actually been to Indonesia or those places in the environment, it's raining, it's a bit cooler in the night, so it's like that. But Mecca is not like that. Mecca is rough and tough. Even the people are rough and tough. The Arabs over there are the children of Quraysh. You will find Abu Jahl's over there. You'll find Walid ibn Mughira's there. You'll find all these kinds of people over there. I'm actually being very honest. It may sound very funny because the police over there also are like that. But see, understand, my analogy is why they are like that, because every day they're seeing millions of people. So they've lost patience. And Saudi has a very different way of following Islam. For them, everything is bid'ah. if it's not done according to their way, which actually most of it is right, because we go there and we do a lot of things which are not in the religion, and that really angers them. So we go there, we start kissing Maqam Ibrahim, we start making sajda to these places, we start getting crazy, we start kissing the Kaaba and all these things. So they get very angry when they look at us. They see that we are not Muslims and we don't understand religion, and so they lose their patience with us. So just very quickly, inshallah, if you want to bury, and I said that for men, if you want to actually be part of the burial, then when the Imam says salam, that's when you have to run out of the masjid. You'll be very lucky to find them carrying the grave inside the masjid, and you can actually follow them. No one's going to stop you then. You can go there, you can put dirt, and you can even see how it's buried in Medina. See, when the burial happens in Australia, it's called shiq. Shiq actually means it's a ditch and you put the grave down in there. This is how they bury in Australia. In Medina and Arab countries, and I think even, I'm not sure about Pakistan, I've never seen any burial over there, but in Arab countries it's lahad. So basically what that means, they do it like shelving. So they go down and they put you inside. So let's say the graves are over here, and you go down, that's a hole down there, and then you put people inside the shelves, one on top of each other, and then you cover them. That's how they do it. This is how the Prophet is also, prophets actually buried shiq that way, like how you bury over here. So right next to him, which I said to you, it's not the first grill, it's the second one, the right in the middle. If you know a little bit of Arabic, it says Hunaka Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So if you look at the pictures, you see three, it's kind of like you see three walls, three grills. The first one, the second one, and the third one. All the people, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Umar ibn al-Khattab, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, they all are buried in the middle. So when you're walking, you don't have to take a pause. If you can, now because the Imam does not lead the Salah, so for example, back in those days, they've changed everything after coronavirus days. Before the Imam led the Salah from here, and the mimbar was at the back. So if you see that wall, that's the distance, that's where the mimbar was of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's where Riyadul Jannah Rawda is as well. Now they lead the Salah from there. So when you enter Babu Salam, the first 5-6 rows are like just walkway. So no one prays over there, because they've actually taken the Imam and they put him where Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam would lead the Salah. Only what they did in the time after King Fahd, in his time when they were expanding the masjid, they brought the Imam, the mihrab at the front. You'll still see the mihrab over there, but the Imams actually don't lead the Salah anymore from there. It's been 2 years now, they lead from Riyadul Jannah, where the Rawda is. Now, you're not going to be able to know where the Rawda is, to be very simple. Why? Because every carpet is green. So it will be very difficult. But if you understand, if you have some engineering background, it's about 30 square meter going this way, going wide, and about 20 square meter in lengthwise. That's how big it is. That's the area. Apart from that, the other indication is when you go at the back, you will see there is a raised platform. It's like a stage. It's called Ashabu Suffa. The people of Suffa, the poor people, used to live over there. So mimbar of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam till the Ashabu Suffa, the raised platform, that is actually Rawda. Anything past that, the Suffa area, that's not mimbar. But they've actually made it bigger so people come and they pray. So if you do get a chance, for women they can only pray in the morning. So you actually can't pray in the night, because after Fajr, when they are cleaning the masjid, that's the only time they allow you to go in there. Nusuk is the application. Make sure you register. They'll allow you to pray in the morning early. Men, you can pray anytime, especially in the Salah times, as long as you've got the application. I've actually explained that. I'm not going to go into that. So these are the things that you can do. Pray a lot of Salah over there. Something that you can do, reward of Hajj and Umrah. You know, that is when you finish your Salah with the Imam, you make your azkar, and you read Quran, and when the sun is coming up, you pray 2 rak'ah, and then you leave your place after Fajr. So make sure every Fajr you're there. If you don't want to follow the janazah, just stay there till sunrise. You get the reward of Hajj and Umrah. Every day you can do that. You're there for ibadah. You're not there to have breakfast or have fun or go to sleep. Now you're there, when you come there for Fajr, stay there till the sunrise. It's only 1 hour, because when the salah starts, let's say the Arab countries don't pray like us, we're a bit lazy. You know, nowadays Fajr is 4:15 and over here it's 5 o'clock, not criticizing. That's about 45 minutes. For someone who wakes up for tahajjud, now sometimes he wants to, get his back straight. So 45 minutes he has to wait for the jama'ah and then come. Arabs don't pray like this. They just 20 minutes after the Fajr, adhan, 20 minutes, jama'ah straight away after that. You'll find that everywhere. If you're going for, Sheikh Mahmoud actually has the sunnah over here, so you're not going to get confused. If you're there on a Friday, in the first rak'ah, Imam prays Surah Sajda, regardless of you're in Mecca or Medina. When the Imam says Allahu Akbar, go in the Sajda, don't go in the Ruku. Because you find half the masjid standing like this. And this is what happened when we went to Umrah with the children. Every child, and even it's been recorded, even the principal, I'll say it, he was in Ruku as well. And then when the Imam said Allahu Akbar, and when I came up, then they realized what's happened. So they asked me afterwards, so this is a practice of Imam, they always pray Surah Sajda on a Friday, in Mecca and Medina. So if you are there for the Friday Salah, Allahu Akbar actually means to go in the sujood. You will know that he's praying Surah. As Sheikh Mahmoud, if you prayed over here on a Friday behind him, he actually does that. So he's got that sunnah. Not many Imams do that. One of the other sunnah is to read, he actually reads both the surahs, which is the other one is Surah Insan, which he reads as well. But that some Imams only read Surah Insan because their followers are weak nowadays. So that's also suffices the sunnah. That's it. Yeah. He reads both of them, but I'm saying some only read Surah Insan, and that's also following the sunnah as well. So now these are some of the things you can do over there. You want to do your shopping? Medina is the best place to do your shopping. Why? Because over there you'll be getting a good bargain for anything that you want to do, so do in Medina. Medina is a place where you do all these things, inshallah. Now, in sightseeing, definitely go to Masjid Quba. Because if you went to Masjid Quba, you actually get the reward of Umrah. Alright, so basically, make sure you make it a time out, and if you haven't booked it, understand if you're in Medina, even if you don't speak Arabic, there's a lot of Pakistanis in Medina. So if you speak Urdu, you can get a long way. In Mecca, Medina, you can actually do a lot of things if you don't know Arabic. Because most of the taxi drivers, they're Pakistanis. In Medina, in Mecca, if you speak Bengali, you can actually get around even better. Why? Because in Mecca, there's a lot of Bangladeshis. Mecca is actually more Bangladeshis than Pakistanis. Medina has more Pakistanis. If you want to buy dates, buy from the farm. So if you're going with a group, tell them to take you to the farm. There are farms just outskirts or only 5 minutes away from Medina, and you can actually go there. You're much more cheaper. You want to get ajwa, don't pay more than 60 riyal per kilo. Don't pay. They're going to say to you 80 riyal, 90 riyal. And you know what? Just some words in Arabic I want to give you today. When someone says, just say ghali jiddan. It means it's too expensive. You know? So it's simple, you can have this. And then basically, and if you want to say, you probably know some of your Arabic when it comes to the numbers, okay? You know the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you want to add zeros to it, you add arba'een, khamseen, that's 50, okay? That's how you add zeros to it. And so you need to know your numbers, because now the Arabs have learned English as well. They're going to tell you 40, 50. But this is some simple bargaining if you want to do. But again, there's a lot of Pakistanis in Medina. But if you go to Mecca, there's a lot of Bangladeshis over there. And Mecca is also known for a lot of Egyptians. There's a lot of Egyptians over there. So you're going with Sheikh Mahmoud, so you should be okay. So he knows his Egyptian dialects really well. So that's Medina is some of the things you want to do inshallah over there. We started with Umrah. I showed you how to wear that. Now first thing, when you're coming, you have to do the talbiyah, labbaik Allahumma labbaik, labbaik la sharika laka labbaik, innal hamda wan ni'mata laka wal mulk la sharika lak. All right. So what does that mean? In simple words, you're saying, oh Allah, I am coming. You have called upon me, I am coming. You actually, this is called Tawheed, that you're actually reliving the Tawheed and you're saying to Allah that I come to your call. You've asked me to come and I'm coming. So you're going there. Now, some of the du'as you need to memorize inshallah. When you go there, Bismillah, Allahumma aftah li abwaba rahmatik. All right? Oh Allah, open the doors of rahmah for me. You know, even when you come to masjid, these are some of the du'as you should be saying on a daily basis. When you come to the masjid, you say that, Bismillah, or you say, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. You know, Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala says there are 40 rewards for saying, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. To send salawat on Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Just one salawat, you get 40 rewards. How amazing is that? So you say it as much as you like when you get to Medina, when you get to Mecca, and there are so many rewards for that. Now, one of the other things, now you've come over there, I explained you about the ihram only for men, not for the women. With men, when you get to Mecca, as soon as you see the Kaaba, you look at the black stone. You're not going to be, it'll be very hard for you to see the black stone from here when you're looking on your left hand side. Tawaf is anti-clockwise. So from your left hand shoulder, you're going to go all the way around and you're going to do your round. So as I said to you, remember on your fingers, or if you've got a sibha, get those small ones, or if you've got those counters, the digital counters, do that, because sometimes people forget how many they've done. So it's better you do it through the counter or remember. So how are you going to know that the black stones there? It's easy. They've got these green lights. They come all the way from your right hand side, all the way up. And once you get to that green light, you know this is the start of the tawaf. When you enter from Bab Abdul Aziz, you're going to enter, I'm actually giving you a very graphical image there. You're going to enter from Rukun Yamani. This is the Rukun, from there to Hajar Aswad, that incomplete wall. You say, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasana wa fil akhirati hasana wa qina adhab an-nar. That wall. You're going to actually enter from there. You have to walk all the way to the green light, which is not a long walk because you're going to be doing it from the bottom level. Once you get there, you say Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, and then you keep on walking. Now, if you do get a chance, you can line up after Tawaf if you want to pray in Hajar Ismail. If you prayed inside Hajar Ismail, they've got lines now, they've got queues now. Men are coming from the top where Maqam Ibrahim is, and women are coming from where Rukun Yamani is. So like a queue system, they allow you to go in there for 5 minutes. Now if you prayed in there as if you prayed inside the Kaaba. Why is that? Because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted the Kaaba to be rectangle, not a cube, because they did not have the halal money, so they were only left to make that. So in order to suffice and make it part of that, they brought stones around it. So it's done exactly like that. Kaaba is actually broken and remade 7 times in the history. One of the times it was actually made in a rectangle shape because Abdullah ibn Zubair knew how Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam actually wanted it. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also in his lifetime wanted to change it, but he said, if I change the Kaaba, the Quraysh will tell me once I came in the power, I changed the house of Allah. So that's why he left it like that. So there was a hikmah in that. Because he wanted people to be united, not to, fight. Oh, he just changed it. Why? Because he's in power now. So he was a very smart man. He knew how to deal with the people. Abdullah ibn Zubair, when he came into power, this is the time of Hajjaj ibn Yusuf, when he actually killed him and he hung his body on the gate of the Haram after Hajjaj ibn Yusuf killed Abdullah ibn Zubair. And this is when it was in rectangle shape. So they broke it again, the Umayyah, and they put it in the square shape again. So what you see today, it's in the square shape, and if you prayed in that, you actually get the reward as if you prayed inside the Kaaba. If you do get time, you're there, Put your effort in if you can do it. Don't try to touch the Hajar Aswad. Why? Because it's like a gang thing over there. People come in queues and they're not going to allow you to do it. Also understand, Hajar Aswad is not in the height of your head. It's actually a bit lower down. It's probably the height of your chest. When you go down to kiss it, if you do get there, then people come on top of you. And then you're going to start suffocating. And people push you down. They will not let you come up. And if you're claustrophobic, then you can even faint as well. So if you don't have the strength, if you're old, understand, remember what Umar ibn al-Khattab said. Umar ibn al-Khattab said, you're just a piece of stone. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam kissed you, so I kiss you. And if you have no value. So understand that. Also, but understand if you touched Hajar Aswad, there's a hadith that it will intercede you. On the day of judgment, it will say that this is the so and so and so and so touched me. Yes, also understand that. If you can touch it, touching is more easy than kissing. So if you can touch it, if you want to touch it after Fajr, really good time. You know when the sun comes out, it gets hot, people don't stay over there. That's when it starts getting less busier, and that's a good time to touch. But also understand, be hydrated, very important. Don't just kill yourself. I'm here for ibadah, I'm just going to do everything. Your body also has rights over you. So you have to look after your bodies as well. So make sure you rest as well, make sure you eat as well, make sure you're praying in there as well, make sure you're doing all these things. So have rights over your body as well. So inshallah, for the men again, when you come inside, remember when I showed you in the ihram, you show your shoulder throughout the 7 rounds for the first time you've done your tawaf. Until you finish the tawaf, as soon as you finish, you've got the Hajar Aswad, Maqam Ibrahim. From there, you move all the way back. Don't pray over there because that's taklif. Why? Because other people are just walking. That's not good. You see that? You keep on walking back. They've got an area over there for men to pray and also for women to pray. Enter the area, pray 2 rak'ah. After that, the sunnah is to drink Zamzam. Alright? And Zamzam right behind you. Once you pray, there's the dispensers at the back. You know, the bubblers, as you say in Australia. The bubblers are just at the back. And you can pray, eat, drink Zamzam as much as you like. From there, it says Sa'i, Masa. You actually, it tells you to go up, it's escalators and it will guide you over there. It's very easy to get up there. Once you get to Sa'i, and this is where you start from Safa and you finish at Marwa. How you do it, it's 7 rounds only. Safa till Marwa is 1, Marwa to Safa is 2, Safa to Marwa is 3. It's like that. It's not like Safa to Marwa and then coming back is 1. No. Some people actually do it and that's wrong. You're only going to kill yourself. It's 800 meters. That's a really long walk. And the only time men walk or jog is the green light. Again, the green lights when you're in Safa and Marwa, there's green lights over there. Women don't jog or anything. It's only the men that jog. Alright, so women just walk. Because I understand women are also, it's modesty. You don't want to jog over there in front of other people. Yeah, the men jog, don't run, just jog over there. And now your ihram will be back on. You can't show your shoulder. Once you finish your tawaf, the 7th round, you pray 2 rak'ah. While you're praying the 2 rak'ah, you cover your shoulder at that time. And then when you come up, you do that running. Now there are some du'as, okay? This paper, I'm going to give it to you. This is where you read the ayah from Surah Baqarah, Inna Safa wal Marwati min sha'airillah. Alright? Some ulama say you just read that. And that why? Because Inna Safa wal Marwati min sha'airillah, that this is from the sha'air. This is from the sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Safa and Marwa. And remember, I actually gave on my video as well, which I did my reflection, I gave you the analogy why we do these things. I'm not going to go back into it. Listen to my reflection. When I went there, I spoke about why we do this. There's a chore that we're running and it's all, I've actually mentioned all in there. So some people say that you only read it till there. Some people say, no, you have to add فَمَنْ حَجَّ الْبَيْتَ أَوْ اِئْتَمَرَ فَلَا جُنَاحَ. You add it till the end. Okay, that's the ayah. Remember, this is only one time you say it. Once you get to Safa, how do you say it? Let's say this is the mountain of Safa, okay? Now, other thing, I know you're going with Sheikh Mahmoud, don't do it from the first level. It's very busy. Safa and Marwa are 3 levels as well. That's the same thing. Don't do it from the first level. This is my advice to you. And if you do see him, tell him, don't do it while everyone's doing it over there. You go there and you go to the next level up. Once you go to the next level up, it gets more easier. If you don't want to do it, there's another level up. You can do it from the third level, and that's more easier as well. Why? Because people actually don't go, most of them don't even know that exist. And so basically it becomes more spacious. Why? Because if there are everyone doing it, understand you're going into a very busy time. You are just going, alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. You're just going before the month of Rajab. Alright, month of Rajab is not far away. Now it's after that is Sha'ban and Ramadan. It's only 3 more months now till Ramadan. So now it starts getting busier. So this is a time when it gets very busy. Now, once you come over there, let's say this is Safa. You can see the mountain, let's say. Now you turn to Kaaba. You see the Kaaba. That's the sunnah how he used to do it. He would turn to the Kaaba, he would raise his hand and he would say this dua. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulk wa lahul hamd, yuhyi wa yumit, wa huwa ala kulli shayin qadir. La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah, anjaza wa'da, wa nasara abda, wa hazama al-ahzabu wahda. Okay, so this is, he would say this. And he would say it 3 times. Alright, you will say this dua 3 times. If you don't know it, put it in your phone. And again, this is, understand that there's the simple understanding of this dua, you are praising Allah again. Hajj is all about Tawheed. You're praising Allah, you're talking about the power of Allah, the sovereignty of Allah, the might of Allah, and everything in this world is Allah. And there's nothing. And you know, the last part which I read was Anjaza wa'da wa nasara abda wa hazam al-ahzabu wahda. This is something that actually was like a war pledge as well that they read on the day of Uhud as well. So again, you know, again praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, you know, oh Allah, it's your promise that you help your slave. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you defeated the confederates. Wa hazam al-ahzab wahda. It's, you know, the battle of Ahzab which happened. So that is 3 times you say it again. So this is something that you do. It happens on that day. Well, Maghrib is... So in 6 minutes, inshallah. We'll just send it another 2 more minutes and then we'll break off, inshallah. So we'll keep it Q&A after the salah, when the salah is over, inshallah. So, and then you say this, and then you start walking. While you're walking, this is your time to say du'as as much as you like. Alright, whatever dua comes to your mind. Don't be like a parrot holding a book and reading something from there. Don't be like that. You know, don't be like those people that one is making a dua. You have your own needs. Everyone's got their own needs. Say the du'as that are coming in your language, whatever you know, say it. Read the zikr, azkar, whatever you know, and you get to Marwa. Exactly the same. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar again. You say it again, the 3 times again, and then you make your dua. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he finished the dua, this zikr, then he would stand up, just say the dua. Any dua, and then he would walk again. So you keep on doing it until the last round, because you've already done it 7 times. When you come back to Marwa, now you don't have to do it. Why? Because you started your round from Safa, you already did that zikr over there, you made the dua and you came back. Now your umrah is over. That's it. That's how easy umrah is. Now the umrah is over, and after that you have to cut your hair. Now there is a lot of opinions about cutting hair, but I will give you a very simple thing, the understanding when it comes to men, when it comes to women. Very simple understanding how it is done the right way. But there are so many other opinions. The Hanafis have their own opinions and everything else. Now the women, very easy. You only have to cut the size that much. Let's just say that much, okay? Easy, you just women hold their hair, and whatever after that, you just cut that much. It's not like some people say, oh, I cut it from there and it's done. No, you have to do the full head. Same with the men as well. Some people say, oh, I've done it from this part or I've done it from that part. No, you have to either do the entire head, and some ulama say at least 1/3 of the head. 1/3 of the head should actually be done in order to come out. That's a taksir. Now I said to the men as well, it's easy. You're going there, you're going for the sake of Allah. Sacrifice your hair until you've got a transplant hair on your head. That's a different story. But if you don't have, you've got real hair, then just give your hair. You know, Allah, you've come all the way. You're doing it for 3 times. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the hadith, he said, may Allah have mercy on the one who gives his, who shaves his head. Then the man came, what about the one who cuts his hair? He said, may Allah have mercy. The question is, cut his hair? He said, may Allah have the mercy on the one who shaves his hair. Again, he said, what about the one who cuts his hair? He again says, may Allah have the mercy, the one who shaves his hair. So he's not answering the question, but he's telling the reward of the one who shaves. But then when the 4th time he asks the question, he says, also may Allah have mercy on the one who cuts his hair. So what we learn from the hadith, there are 3 rewards for shaving and 1 reward for cutting. So if you're going all that way, yes.
The person has to be haji. The person who cutting your hair.
You're cutting yourself or someone else?
Okay, this is another one. Okay, so the Hanafis say you can't. Now, easy answer to this. Once you finish the salah, how do you come out of salah? You say assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. So once you've done safa, your sa'i, you've done your umrah. So the ulama say you've actually done it. Now you can come out, you can even cut. The man who's still in ihram, he can cut his wife's hair. But the Hanafis say no, you can't do it. Someone else has to cut your hair in order to come out of ihram. But the correct opinion is, once you've done your sa'i, you can cut anyone's hair. That's the correct opinion. But the Hanafis say no, you can't. You have to get someone else to cut your hair. But I will explain that inshallah. Now we'll just do it's the time for adhan now. But inshallah after that we'll take some Q&A inshallah. Yes. So remember we spoke about the elements, and I was speaking about when it comes to cutting your hair. For men, one of the simplest opinion, you either go machine, size 1, size 2, size 3, size 4, as long as you do your whole entire head, or 1/3 of the head, 1/3 of the head. Now it will be foolish to actually just cut 1/3 of the hair and then leave that side. So it'll be foolish, okay? But then you've got many, mashallah, opinions over there. Some people just take their hair like the women, and they cut it from there and they say they've done it. But that's not the right opinion. Now, before going away, I said to you, this is where the difference of opinion is. But the more correct opinion is, once you've done your sa'i, you can cut someone else's hair, even if you're wearing ihram. So for example, the husband, and if your wife's there, you can actually cut your wife's hair, even before you cut your hair. Because the condition, what happens? See, the condition of salah is when you finish your at-tahiyyat, when you finish your durood, Ibrahim, and you say the dua, you say salam. What's the condition of umrah? Once you've done the sa'i, you've done your umrah. Now you have to come out of it. To come out of the salah, you say salam. To come out of ihram, you cut your hair. So it's okay to cut your wife's hair even if you have not gone to the barber yourself. It's okay, even if you're in the ihram. Don't wait, I'm going to go. You can do that. This is the correct opinion. Some people say, the opinion that other people, which you probably heard, I am in ihram, so I can't cut the hair. The condition of cutting the hair and cutting your nails is until you finish your umrah. Once you finish the umrah, once you've done the sa'i, the umrah is over now. So yes, the restrictions are there when you're doing the umrah. So when you're doing tawaf, you can't do it. When you're doing the sa'i, you can't do it. When you come to Mecca Haram, you can't do it. If someone comes to you, you have not even started the umrah, you're in ihram, they say, brother, can you cut my hair? No, you can't. Because you haven't finished your rituals. You have to finish your rituals in order to do that. So yes, look, it's all good. As I said, whichever you want to do the machine. 1, 2, 3. But you said you don't know Urdu, but if you don't know Urdu, just tell the machine. They will understand. Machine, everyone understands machine.
Size 2, 3.
Yeah, you can say size 2, 3.
Could the children cut their mums or dads or brothers' hair?
Yeah, the children can cut their mums, their dads, their brothers, but I'm not sure how you're going to cut your dad's hair with the machine, and I'm sure your dad's not going to be happy you cutting the hair, because there might not be any hair left on your dad's head if you try to do anything. So I'm not sure if that's a good idea. So that's that's okay. So you can do that, inshallah. Now, some of the simple things to remember when you're ihram, and in ihram you're not going to be for hours, because you just get there from the bus. Make sure you, the microphone's died. Make sure once you get there, you sit down in the bus and try to sleep, try to rest. It's a long journey. Don't just say, some people, I want to just say talbiyah, I want to keep on going. No, once you sit in the bus, you've said the talbiyah or 5, 6, 7 times. Now you can go to rest, just go to sleep. Wake up, you're fresh. Make your wudu before you go there. Once you go to your hotel, because you'll have your bags. So the hotel receptions are very good. They will keep your bag on the side. If you want to go freshen up in your room, go check your room out, put the bag in there, then tell your family, come and meet downstairs in the lobby in 5 or 10 minutes. Then you made your wudu, then from there, it's easy. Ask the reception. Even if you don't ask the reception, hotels got signs, ila haram, meaning to haram. And you can just go and follow those signs, and you will take, you can't miss it, such a big massive masjid. And then Bab Malik Fahad is right in the middle of the masjid. When you come out from the clock tower, are you staying in the clock tower?
Yes, Swissatel.
Yeah, Swissatel's clock tower. So if you're staying clock tower, you come out from the main gate, you just you go on your slight left. Because when you come straight out from the doors, it's in front of KFC where Bin Dawood is. So Bin Dawood's on your left hand side, and you have to slightly go towards the left from the main door, and that's Malik Fahad. So from Malik Fahad you go straight inside the haram. That's the only gate to go downstairs to do Umrah. So now they've blocked everything. That's the only way you can get downstairs in the Kaaba, in Mataf, to do Umrah. Yeah, if you were standing with Bin Dawood, it's Malik Fahad gates right in front of Bin Dawood. In Bin Dawood, right next to it is KFC. You can't miss it. So from KFC, you can see Malik Fahad gate. But if you're in Clock Tower, the Swissatel, the gate in front of Clock Tower is not Malik Fahad. That will not take you to Mataf. Yeah, KFC is on your left-hand side. It's a really, it's not one of the best KFCs to eat, I'll tell you what. Because it's a very busy one, and they don't put a lot of effort to make food nice. So that's not the right place to eat KFC.
How many hotels in the clock tower?
Hotels in the clock tower, there are many. There's Fairmont, there's a Swissatel, there's Swissatel Mecca, there's another Swissatel on top of that. There's another 2, so there's about 5 hotels in there. Yeah, Movenpick as well. Hilton's not. Hilton's in Bin Dawood. So you're going to come out of KFC. So you are in KFC.
I'm in KFC.
So you're in KFC in that building. So you're going to come out from Malik Fahad.
If you want KFC, you can go there.
So Hilton is on top of Bin Dawood, and there's Bin Dawood Shopping Center. You're on top of that. Hilton is there. So Hilton's not there. Hilton Clock Tower has Fairmont, Swissatel Mecca, and Movenpick and those ones. But they don't have Hilton. Hilton's the one in KFC.
So a bit closer, like you
You come out and you come out straight in Bab Malik Fahad. You come to the gate of Malik Fahad.
Is this the only KFC there?
That's the only KFC there. The other KFC is inside. So if you're worried about food, you really want to eat food, Clock Tower Shopping Center has over, like you're talking about 50, 60 different restaurants. You name it. McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, Domino's, Krispy Kreme, Starbucks.
How long is the waiting period?
You can choose. It's so many of them. If that one's busy, just go over there. If you're in Mecca, do eat Smash Burgers. That's an American brand, Smash Burger. It's like if you've been to Hardee's. Have you been to Hardee's?
Pakistan,
Yeah. So it's like Hardee's or Burger King. Over here you've got Hungry Jack's. Yeah. You've got Pakistani food, but you have to go all the way back. In the shopping centers, they don't sell it. So if you go all the way back, you have to go towards the old area. So when you just have to move away from the haram, you get Pakistani restaurants over there.
Is every single country's food in the restaurants?
Sorry, what was your question again? I didn't get your question.
Is every single country's food in the restaurants?
Yeah, there are so many of them over there. You'll be amazed. So, and the mostly, if you go to Haram in Mecca, sometimes when you go to these places, you think you're in India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh. Understand they're big countries, so they have many people coming. So Pakistan has Muslim population of 210 million. India's population is 200 million. And Bangladesh's Muslim population is 185 million. So mostly you see the people coming for Hajj and Umrah in the biggest numbers are these brown people. I can call them brown because myself I'm a Pakistani, so I'm not being racist.
Zamzam water is everywhere or just?
Zamzam's everywhere. In Medina, in Mecca, you find Zamzam everywhere. And in order to get Zamzam, don't fill your Zamzam from Mecca. Because at the airport, you have to buy Zamzam. The bottles, they've made these specific bottles of 5 litre. You actually buy it at the airport.
Here?
Yeah, to bring it here.
How many we are allowed?
5 litres per person. Yes.
Sheikh, so what's the best place to buy souvenirs? Is it Makkah or Medina?
Medina. You want to do shopping? Do Medina. Mecca is not the place to buy anything. Mecca is a difficult place. Mecca is a place for ibadah. 100,000 times salah. Busy yourself in salah. You want to do extra umrahs? Go to Masjid Tana'im, Masjid Aisha, and do the umrahs. Remember I told you, you can get a taxi from just Malik Fahad, Bab Malik Fahad. You just go up from there, there's a bus station there. You can either catch the bus or even a taxi. Round trip for 10 riyal. 5 to go, 5 to come back, the taxi will stay for you. So if you know people over there, let's say a taxi over there, it's not like Australia, 5 people will sit in 5 people. No. They will put 10 people in 5 seats. So if you know, now you will be sitting, you've been to Pakistan, when you come out of the Suzuki, you've got 12 people in 5 seats. So they lie. Sorry.
For second Umrah, let's say we go to Masjid Aisha, but over there the Saudi people say this is like it's a bidah.
Yeah.
So what's the right way?
Okay, this is a very good question. Personally, my belief, as I told you, I'm Hanbali. I don't believe in the second Umrah, but I said this earlier as well. We will not go there every year. Sometimes we go there, and this is not. See, understand, al-mushaqqatu. There's a principle in fiqh. It's there's maqasid of Sharia. There are 5 maxims of Sharia. One of the maxim is al-mushaqqatu tajlibu ala taysir. With hardship, Allah brings ease. That's a maxim. We are there. There is a large number of ulama. This is a matter of ikhtilaf. This is not just bid'ah. This is just one group saying bid'ah. There's this large number of other people of ulama, the Hanafis, the Malikis, the Shafis. They believe in doing 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th Umrah. So don't worry. Allah knows your intention. Many people will not be able to go. As I said to you, make it a priority of someone who's passed away. You're doing Umrah, 2nd one for them. If you don't have anyone that's passed away, you've got parents who are really old, do Umrah for them because they can't go there. Do Umrah for them. Make an intention for them. I have never done 2nd or 3rd Umrah because I'm a Hanbali. I don't believe in that. But this year, I changed myself. Why? Because all these children that went to Umrah with us from the school, they all wanted to do Umrah. They all came to me, Sheikh, I want to do Umrah for my grandmother. I want to do Umrah for this. You know how many Umrahs I did? I did 4 Umrahs just to accommodate these people. Because there was no one else to help them. And I felt that was my responsibility to help these children, the one who were there. So every night we were sitting, we were there for 3 days, the first Umrah that we did. And after that, the same day, in the morning we went for 1 Umrah. In the night we went for 1 Umrah. My head was just going through razor and there was no hair on top of it. Yes, you have to cut your hair, that's right. Every time you come out, you have to cut your hair.
So that's a good idea. First time you don't do number 1, you do number 4 or something.
Yes, that's how you keep on doing it, yes.
Otherwise, what are you going to do? You're going to keep skinny.
That's right. All Zamzam over, thousands of gallons is transported on a daily basis to Medina. So the water dispensers that you see in Medina, those disposable ones, they have, it will say, understand, it will say on the thing cold and warm. So even Zamzam is cold. You can get cold chilled Zamzam, and you can even get tap water, which is warm. They say on the taps over there. Barid, which is cold, and har, which is hot. So it says over there. So you can actually drink that Zamzam from those. If you sometimes just read the label, it says over there. And also the way they've designed it, you've got musta'mil, the used cups, and the new cups. So the new cups are always on the right hand side, you pick it up, and the used one goes on the left hand side. So they've got a system over there. They've got cup holders. Don't take the cups from the left hand side, they're the used ones. So pick up from the right hand side, you finished it, there's no bin over there, you just put it on the left hand side. The cleaners clean after a minute they keep on coming, and they will clean those cups and put the new ones there. So that's how it works. Yes?
You perform Umrah 4 times for the sake of the children. Does that mean you cut your hair one quarter?
No, actually I shaved my hair in the first go. Yeah, the full thing. But when they told me, then I was just going through whatever hair was coming out, then I was just shaving that. By the end of it, I had no hair. Like my hair, skin was shining. Probably there was nothing coming out. Alhamdulillah, I got my hair come back, but that was like really difficult. I was thinking I might not even have hair after this. Yes?
Where is Zamzam water originating?
Everywhere.
Like, where did did it come from a waterfall or something?
No, it came from the well. It's under Safa and Marwa. So when you go Safa and Marwa, the well, now you can't see it because these days it's very difficult. Everything is blocked. If you went and did your Hajj in the 2010 and the 5s, you could actually go ground level. There's actually basement level in Mecca as well where people used to pray. And you could even go as close to the well as well. Now the well is not like a well. There is a well, but they've got water pump attached to it. So it takes the water and it distributes to the entire place in the masjid, and people that live in Mecca in the outskirts, they also receive that Zamzam as well.
Also the houses they get.
The ones who actually live over there in the outskirts around, they actually receive Zamzam as well. Yes. So this is what they did with the system. And can you imagine, this is a miracle, children, for you. It was a well, and it will never deplete. Water is coming out. Not 1400 years ago. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam only came 1400 years ago. What year of Islam is this? 1444. All right? When did Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam come to Medina? When he was 53. Add 53 years to 1444. How much is that? Let's say 1500 years Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born. This water came into being, into existence at the time of Ibrahim, Ismail. It's been there for thousands of years. If you look at the Bible, that's even before BC, before Christ. And if you look at the Gregorian calendar, we're in 2022. That's 2022 years. And going back before that, before Christ was Moses, was David, was all these prophets, Joseph, was Yaqub, and Jacob, the grandson of Ibrahim. And before that was Isaac, Ishaq, and then was Ibrahim alayhi salam. So can you imagine how long this water has been there? Let's hypothetically say it's about 6,000 years ago this water was found. It's still running. And will be running till the end of the times as well. Yes?
When Prophet Ibrahim built the masjid, the Kaaba with his son, did God send a rock so he could step on it and it could fly and it could help Ibrahim alayhi salam to help him up and build the masjid?
Yeah, so the story, that's right, you've actually said the story right. He only sent that stone, the Hajar Aswad. That's the one that you're going to be starting your tawaf. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. That's where you start. Every other stone was not there. وَاتَّخَذَ مِن مَقَامِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ مُصَلَّى. Take the place of Ibrahim as the prayer place. Now Ibrahim was giving instructions to his son. He was standing on a high place. You know, like you've got scaffold today. You build a house, you've got a scaffold. So he was standing in a high place and telling Ismail. Imagine telling your son to mow the lawn today. He will actually give you the whole 1 hour lecture, how busy he is, how lazy he is. This son built the whole entire Kaaba. Just the father telling him what to do. And then there was one space left as you described, and they could not find something that befitted to go there. That's when Allah by Jibreel sent the Hajar Aswad. So Hajar Aswad actually came, that black stone, they call it black, but it wasn't black, it was white when it came. So it came, and that's where they fitted in there.
But how long was the rock there for?
It's been a long time. It's the time of Ibrahim, let's say about 6,000-7,000 years ago.
So, probably
How
one.
old was he? And his son?
Ibrahim, when he had Ismail, he was 80 years old. And when he built the Kaaba from the Seerah, Ismail would have been 14 years old. So Ibrahim was 94. And Ibrahim has had his next son at the age of 100, which is Ishaq, Isaac. That's the lineage of all the Jews and the Christians. They trace back to Ishaq, and we trace back to Ismail. All right? So Ibrahim was 80, 94, let's say, when he was building the Kaaba. And when he had his next son, he was 100. Yes?
But did Prophet Muhammad have to shave his head too?
Yeah, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also cut his hair, shaved his head, yes. So are you going to be shaving your hair as well?
Oh, my dad was very good after this one.
They want to know how long it takes to get your hair back, so the hair to grow back to a reasonable length.
So, for what?
They want to know how long it takes for the hair to grow back to a reasonable length.
You are young people. A reasonable length, something like me, less than 2 weeks. I'm an old man. It's been over to nearly 2 months, one month now since I've come back. So that's in 1 month. So I came back on the 15th of October. So that's a month. And you young people, I'm actually already struggling with the growth of my hair at the moment. But you people have, mashallah, hair that will grow back in a week.
Can you take a bath with Zamzam or something?
Yeah, you can take bath with Zamzam. It's just water. They're not gonna.
They have places where you can.
They will not have place over there. You can put it in a container, take it to the hotel, and take a bath over there. You know, you have the bottles. They fill it up. Bottles are right outside. Even outside the haram, the dispensers are Zamzam. Just outside haram. Even outside the doors of haram, you will see dispensers. People filling their bottles from there. You can actually fill your canister. Let's say you had a canister. You fill it up 5 liters. Go have a shower with that. No problem.
How much do they carry on the planes?
5 liters. You're only allowed 5 liters, and those 5 liters you have to buy from the airport. You can't bring your own because they will throw it away at the airport counter. So they give it to you in a box. So there's a 5 liter bottle in a box. Something that you get from Bukhari House, Darus Salam. You know, you've seen that? Exactly the same thing you buy from the airport. Look, it's in your itinerary. Actually, you only pay 5 or 7 riyals for that, no more than that. It's part of the itinerary. Yeah. In the package, sometimes, you know, if you're going with an Umrah package or by a travel agency, they pay for it. But if they haven't paid for it, you're going on your own, it's 5 or 7 riyals, no more than that. Yeah. Yes. That's Bir Usman, that's the well of Usman. Yes. That's where the date farms are. So when I told you to buy the dates, buy from there. They will be cheaper. So the Bir of Usman, the well of Usman, that's around the date farm. So basically what these Arabs do, they give these date farms on lease to the Pakistanis, to the Bangladeshis, to the Indonesians. So they run these farms. And whatever they earn, they give kafala. You know the kafala system? So they give a percentage back to the Arab, and whatever they make, they have their own workers and everything. There is a very famous guy, he's Pakistani from Sahiwal. There's a place in Pakistan, so he's from there. He's got one of the biggest farms over there. And where you're talking about the well of Usman. He's been living in Saudi for last 75 years. And he was a young child. Let's say he was 2 years old when he came there. He's got his sons now. There's a big massive farm, and that's where you buy dates. And for ajwa, don't give more than 60 riyal. And also there is ajwa afdal, where they call it the best quality, which is a bigger one. Don't get the ones that you get from Bukhari House. They're small as a size. The small ones are really hard. When you're going to Medina, go for the softer ones, which are the good quality, the bigger ones, and they are 60 riyal. They will tell you 85, 90, some will say 100. It's 60 riyals. You should not be paying more than that.
Are we allowed to bring it here?
Yeah. You can bring dates over here.
Brother, just, so can we see the will, or are we allowed to?
Yeah, you can see the well. You can see the well, but you can't see inside it. They've barricaded it. Saudi has barricaded all these things. You can see them from outside. It will say Bir Usman, well of Usman. No, you can't, because they've barricaded it. Like, you know, there's the fence. It's fenced up. So even when you go to Uhud to see the Shuhada, it's been fenced up. You can go to Jabal Ruma. Actually, people think that's the mountain of Uhud. That's not the mountain of Uhud. That's Jabal Ruma. This is the other mountain where the Muslim army was stopping the Quraysh. But when they came down, they attacked. So if you stand on top, you can actually see the graves. It's not very high. It's probably double this. That's how it is. That's how it is. Double this.
But it's barricaded anyway.
No. You can actually climb the mountain. But you can't go inside to see the graves. They are fenced up. But if you stand on top, then you can see the graves from there. Yes?
What's the tastiest type of date?
The tastiest type of date is sukari. Sukari actually is a really good date. The Arabs actually eat that. For us, we like the ajwa. Why? Because we say we're going there. Ajwa is actually it's not the greatest, but why we love ajwa? Because of the hadith of Rasulullah. If you eat 7 ajwa in the day, then you will be away from black magic and any contagious disease. That's a promise of Rasulullah.
Only once?
No, every day 7. Now you got to be a millionaire to be spending on that much ajwas.
Bring some more date.
How many can you bring?
So, is the well,
I brought 10 kilos. So it's up to you how much you can bring.
So what was the name of the...
so is like the well surrounded with fences?
But sukari is a really good date. It's actually more sweeter and more softer. When you go for dates, you want to go for something soft. Ajwa does not have a long shelf life. When you bring it over here, after 2 months, it will become hard. It's not moist anymore. Yes?
Can you find the sugary dates from the date farms?
You can get any date from the date farms. Don't buy the dates from the shops outside the haram. They're very expensive. Either go to the wholesaler, and if you can't go to the date farm, you know what? For you, because I know you're not going from a tour, you get any Pakistani taxi driver. You tell them they know everything. They'll take you to the farm as well.
How far are these? No, not far, I guess.
Not far. If you're going to the farm, only 10 minutes you'll get there. You know what? You hire a Pakistani taxi driver outside the hotel. Tell the reception to give you a taxi, speaks Urdu. They will actually give you hire him, he'll take you everywhere. Masjid Quba, Masjid Qiblatain, Uhud, everywhere. In the taxi, he will take you as if he's your chauffeur driver. You speak to him in Urdu as well, he'll take you everywhere. I tell you what, Medina, more Pakistanis, but if you go to Mecca, more Bangladeshis. All right, so...
What's the places you should visit when you're in Medina?
Qiblatain, really good masjid to go, Qiblatain. You can listen to it, it's been recorded, so Qiblatain, Quba, go to Uhud as well. You can see the shuhada, make dua for them. And also you can go inside in Uhud, they've made a very beautiful masjid. One of the good things about Saudi, you have water fridges inside the masjid. You don't have to pay money. You just open the fridge and you take a bottle out. Any masjid. No, just normal water. Bottled water. This is like, when we buy water from the shop, that's inside the fridge over there. Even when you go to Beit Biyar, the masjid where you wear your ihram, you open the fridge. It's like you're in the shops. You open it, you take the bottle out. No, you don't have to put any charity, no money. They're always full with water in there. Water is like they provide you water for free everywhere.
Can you visit the place where Prophet Muhammad used to live, or his?
Go to the museum, because you'll find the whole structures over there, how it was done, what was done, everything. Everything's in the museum. Go over there.
Not where he used to live, the area where he used to live.
No, where he used to live is inside the masjid. When he died, that's his house. Where do you say, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah? That's his house. That's the house of Aisha. So that's where he lived. And in his house,
Do you know exactly where his house was?
yeah, it's the second grill. It's not the first one, it's the second one, and not the third one. It says in Arabic on the top, if you watch it carefully, it says Hunaka Ha Noon Alif and Kaf. Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We know how to read Muhammad sallallahu. Hunaka means hair. Hair, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then if you walk like 2 steps, it says Hunaka Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, and it says Huna Umar ibn al-Khattab. It's like a little nameplate on the top, and that's where you say salam. You say Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah.
That's where his grave is. But is that where he used to live?
That's his bedroom. He was buried in his bedroom. The Sharia of Rasulullah, of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, messengers are not taken, they are buried where they die. So he died in his house of Aisha, on her lap. That's how he died. So he was buried inside his house. So Abu Bakr was his close friend, and he's the father of Aisha. He said, when I die, I want to be with my friend. The third grave was for Aisha. She wanted to be buried over there, because that was her house. But Omar had the wish to be buried next to Muhammad and Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. When Omar was dying, he told his son, can you go ask Aisha for me to be buried there? When the father and the husband was buried there, Aisha would live in the house. Why? Because both were mahram. One was father, one was the husband. When Omar was buried there, she left the house and she moved in the back portion of the house, because Omar was not related to her. She gave her place. This is the true believers. She gave a place for the Khalifa of Islam, Umar. Why? Because he was the closest friend to Abu Bakr and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Only because his wish was there to be buried there. Can you imagine that? And she, whose house that was, she's buried opposite in Baqiyah. All the wives of Rasulullah are actually in the Baqiyah. The daughters as well are in the Baqiyah. Over 1,000 Sahabas are in the Baqiyah. Baqiyah al-Gharqad, which is, this is the masjid, let's say, that's the masjid on the left hand side, far corner, far left of the masjid. Alright, yes?
Was the well, was the fences around the well, or just in the hallway that there's Zamzam?
The well's at the bottom in the basement. And so from there, it's like like a water system. So they've got a motor which sucks the water from the well and it sends it through the pipes. You know how you open the tap in your house? So Sydney Water sucks that water out from the Darling River and it sends that water to your taps. So exactly in Saudi, they suck that water from that well and they send it through the taps in Mecca. That's how water works. It's like a water pump or a motor.
So there's like a pipe from the bottom of the well and it brings the water to your tap.
That's right, that's right. Yes?
Check about the Nusrat app. That's for Medina and Makkah?
Both. Once you get your visa number, go to the visitor, register for the date of Umrah that you're going. Although for Umrah you don't need it, but it's better you do it because the Arab mind can change. It's like an evolving mind.
Access to
Yeah. Once you, everything, Umrah, Sa'i, everything, it says. As they say, their minds are evolving. They might just tell you haven't booked in, so you can't go in. So it's better you book in, but they don't ask you. But men have to be in ihram in order to go enter from that gate, or else they're not going to let you. But definitely for Rauda, book that. Why? Because they're not going to allow you to go and do the Rauda. So you're going to miss out on that.
So we don't need Saudi SIM card to actually do any bookings?
Nothing. You don't need anything. Saudi SIM card is not required. Are you guys on Vodafone? Anyone's on Vodafone?
Yes.
It's better you just go on roaming. It's $5 a day. Because if you get a SIM card from there, it's 100 riyal. Alright? Saudi's currency is a quite strong currency. It's 2.2. So let's say you were there for 6 days. It's $30. Either spend $30 on roaming or give 100 riyal and take the SIM card, and chances you lose it as well. But if you're with any other network, if it's not Vodafone, then get the SIM card, because only that service is with Vodafone. So they give you $5 a day. It's like you're using your phone as you were using in Australia.
I was checking online, like Telstra and other companies said don't have roaming in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. So you have to actually buy, you have to buy the SIM. Or even if you don't buy the SIM, you can just do the Wi-Fi thing in the hotel. And because you've got international SIMs, you can talk on WhatsApp. This is how the SIM card works. If you've got the local SIM, you can't talk on WhatsApp. Once you get your international SIM in there, you can talk overseas on WhatsApp. That's how the SIM is configured. So you can use WhatsApp as a phone on Wi-Fi. That's the international SIM. So next time when you go to Saudi, if you go to any members there, take Australian SIM card, give it to them, so you can actually speak to them as well.
What's the limitation of taking pictures?
There's no limitation.
No, in terms of the places.
There's nothing. Saudi has evolved. Those days are over when they would stop you. You can take as many as pictures you like. You can take selfies. You can put a GoPro on your head and do the tawaf. You can do whatever you like. They are not bothered about that. Those limitations are gone. It was long gone when they would do it. Now you've got the mobile phones. They don't stop you. They can't police this. This is very difficult to actually monitor. Very difficult.
Brother, just going to Pura's mountain, do you prefer to go during the day or during the night?
Which mountain, sorry?
Pura.
Oh yeah, so go in the morning, after Fajr. It's best. Why? Because it's a long journey. This is really long. You know, it would take over an hour to get up to there's a steep mountain that's really steep as well. So you need to go understand Makkah will be hot regardless of the time. So for example, you're going in December, don't think it'll be snowing over there. You'll be sweating in December as well. Makkah is a hot, dry place, mountain. And when the sun is out, even in the winter, you feel the heat. So best after Fajr, if you're going to climb up the mountain. Also, that's a journey that Prophet would actually climb up the Hira, and he would actually receive and do meditation up there even before he was the messenger. So that's a long journey. So if you were to walk outside Mecca from where he lived in the house, because they were all close to the Haram. So from there, if you were to walk and go to this mountain, it probably would take you about half an hour to get there, and then climbing the mountains on top of that. Can you imagine how Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was running away from shirk to go away from the city and to find a place where he can worship? Understand, he didn't know who to worship because he was still looking for the truth at that time. And the Nabis of Allah are protected. Even if he did not know about Allah, their hearts are protected, they're pure. So they would never stand up for shirk. You know, there's an amazing story, because I do seerah lessons over here as well. When he was not a Nabi, it was a practice of the Quraysh to be naked. They would do tawaf naked, they would take their clothes off. So they were moving, they were building the Kaaba. There was a destruction, there was a flood. So they were lifting up the bricks of Kaaba. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his back was burning. Abbas, his uncle, told him, take your izar out. Izar's a lower garment. Take it out, put it on your back, and then lift the bricks. while he was trying to do that, he fainted. He could not take the izar out. He's not even a Nabi, he's a young man. So Allah even protected him from doing anything that was outside the religion, that normally would not be the case. So that's how he was protected anyways. Even you've heard the story when there was music in the festival in the city and he was a shepherd, he would look after the sheep. So he would go to the mountains. So every day, because as a young man, he was curious. He told his friend, why don't you come to me and I will, what I will do is, I will look after the sheep. I just want to see what the festival is like. Every time the man would come to relieve him, he would come all the way down the mountain. He would get tired and he would just sit, rest his back on the tree, and he would fall asleep. And he would wake up in the morning. 3 times that happened to him, and then he just decided he's not going to go and see what happens. So that's how he was protected. So inshallah, yes.
Was Prophet Ibrahim's footsteps still on the rock?
Yeah, still there. You can actually see it. You can see it when you go there. Yes.
What was the mountain you're talking about that you should climb up?
The mountain of Ghar Hira and Thawr as well.
Do you need any professional hiking gear?
No, nothing. You can actually just climb it like that.